Peace, YouTube family. It's your boy Zay come back at you with another video. You dig, and you know how we do it. Gleaming. We get straight into it. So, this video I want to talk about, as you see in the title, what they don't tell you about meditation. And what they don't tell you about meditation is that meditation can be done in different ways, and it looks different for different people. Like, a lot of people have this notion that meditation is sit still, sit in darkness, be quiet, just like a super zenful, and it is that, but it's also listening to music. It's also maybe reading. It's also going for a run. In my opinion, meditation is any state of being where you find your zen. You could be playing chess, and you could be in a meditative space. You feel me? Like for me, instance, last night I was in a meditative state, but I was listening to 70s and 80s music through my headphones, but I was in a meditative state, and I was grooving too, but I was still in a meditative state because I was in that space of zenfulness and peace. You feel me? To where I was still, but my mind wasn't all over the place. I was present within a moment of listening to that music. And also, while listening to that music, I'm also reflecting as well, going throughout my day and reflecting while I'm listening to that music. So a meditative state looks different for everybody, bro. Find that meditative zen that works for you, that best puts you in that place of peace. Because sitting in silence doesn't work for everybody. Listening to music doesn't work for everybody. Going for a run doesn't work for everybody. You got to know yourself to know what meditative state to put yourself in to best find your zen. And that comes with knowing thyself, bro. Everything that we talk about on here ultimately leads back to you knowing thyself. Knowing thyself, you get the keys to everything to your life. The keys equals knowledge. Which is why 19 keys call itself 19 keys, because the keys represents keys of knowledge. And the number 19 is very special, but we're not gonna that's a whole nother topic. But shout out to Keys, and my dog. I'm gonna do an interview with him one day. Watch. I'm manifesting that, and y'all heard it here first. I'm gonna do an interview with him. Whether I'm the interviewer or the interviewee, it's gonna happen, bro. It's gonna align. But yeah, bro, find your meditative state. And the reason why I'm speaking on this because there's so many, like, from the outside looking in, people make it seem like, oh, you have to be super quiet and just hold a certain pose. And like I said, that is meditation too, but that's advanced meditative practices. And I dabble in advanced meditative practices as well. And sometimes I indulge in, more relaxed and just natural and organic. Well, I wouldn't say organic, but just natural and just in a space to not really where I'm holding poses and I'm not really, keying in on all the meditative factors. Sometimes I just fall into a state of me. I just sit right here for 10 seconds, just that's a meditative space alone. Just if you just sit somewhere for 30, it don't have to be like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. You could wake up every morning 5 minutes, or every rise in 5 minutes. Just sit there. Or even if your eyes ain't closed, just sit there. Just be present. Make intentions for the day. It don't gotta be 10, 15, 30, 45. Now if you could do that, cool. But a lot of people fresh into meditation, it's gonna be difficult for you to go 30, 45 minutes off the bat, and you've never practiced meditation. Sometimes I go 30, 45 minutes. Sometimes I went an hour, and sometimes I go 10 to 5. It just differentiates. I go based off what my inner self is telling me it needs at that moment. You feel me? So, just come with knowing yourself, knowing thyself, and like I said, finding your zen. Finding your zen, man. Everything is not one shoe fits all for anybody out here in life, So it's important to really know what your shoe size is. You dig what I'm saying? So it can best fit you, a custom fit. You wanna have a custom fit for damn near everything you do in your life. So it best aligns with your vibration and your frequency and your inner self. Because if you're trying to do the things that other people do that don't necessarily align with them, that don't necessarily aligns with you, but it aligns with them. Just because it aligns with them, that don't mean it aligns with you. Not to say that you're lesser or above that person. Y'all just not on the same connectivity wave, and that's okay. You feel me? It's high thinkers who need an hour of meditation. It's high thinkers who only need 10. It's successful people who need 40 minutes of meditation. It's successful people who only need 5. You gotta find what works for you, not what people is telling you what will work for you. You listen to what they're saying. Of course, always be a sponge, always soak up information, but at the same time, as you're soaking up that information, you have to know yourself to be able to use discernment. Like, okay, I hear what he's saying, but is that necessarily gonna work for me? I do that with everything in life. I always listen first. Then I take the information and I digest it. I'm like, okay, he or she said this, and that. Now let me go through and look at these things and align myself and who I am as an individual to the core and see if I actually align with these things. If it's something that's right for my practice that I think I can implement and it will actually elevate me, and it's not something I'm forcing, it's something that I can flow into. You feel me? You got to find these things about yourself, man. And it's about spending time with yourself alone. The most important thing, in my opinion, to fall into a meditative space, I'm not saying you always got to be alone to be in a meditative space, but it helps to be alone, to be in that meditative space, because especially if you're not around people who are also trying to tap into that meditative space and that zenfulness. If you're around people who very chaotic and just not very observant and just you dig what I'm saying, causing a lot of, it's not really gonna work because you're trying to tap into a frequency that's not matching the energy that you're around. So every time you try to tap into that energy, it's something that pulls you out of it. Now, once you get to that advanced level of where you can just completely zone everything out, and I'm getting close to that. Like I said, getting close to that. I'm working towards it, because when I'm in a meditative space, like if it ain't like the birds chirping or like the nature sounds, it throw me off. Like, cars driving or somebody talking in the next room or somebody playing a video loud on their phone. I'm trying to meditate. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It kind of threw me off. So I'm still working towards being able to absorb all the energy and bring that into my meditative space and be in such a gentle state that I'm able to, instead of trying to block these noises out, allow them into my space and how can I put this? Allow them into my space and what is the word that I'm looking for? Manipulate them into where it tunes into like a background. It becomes part of my meditative experience. Y'all get what I'm saying? So I probably don't. Some of y'all, I'll be going off the deep end with my thoughts sometimes. But finding your meditative state is finding you. Like I said, this is something that they don't talk about. When they talk about meditation, they always say, you gotta hold a pose here and this and that. You gotta sit there for 30 minutes. No, you don't. You like I said, you could be outside running somewhere. If you like to run to ease your mind, that's a form of meditation. If you like to draw or paint to ease your mind, that's a form of meditation. You feel me? If you like to go shoot hoops and you're free, that's a form of meditation. You know what I'm saying? So, all about knowing yourself, man. This life experience is about knowing yourself. And the more you learn things about yourself and do things that is in accordance with yourself, bro, I'm telling you, you're going to start to see yourself elevate in other ways, even outside of the ways that you intentionally meant to elevate. Because when you elevate in one area, of course you're going to, when you put in work in one area, of course you're going to elevate in that area. But what most people don't understand is elevation spans across different fields. So it's like it's a trickle down effect. It's a domino effect. So now you're gonna start seeing progress in all these other lanes that you weren't even intentionally working on. So now that you start seeing progress in these other lanes, now that leads you to start intentionally working on those other lanes, man. So it's not a long video at all. Just wanted to give a quick little, my take, my perspective on this whole meditative experience, because it's a great experience and I think anybody can practice it. I think we should implement this in schools and have kids practicing this, you feel me? Because a lot of times kids come from very chaotic homes, so I think just starting off the day by just allowing them to work them into, because a lot of kids, they can't sit still, so working them into practicing meditation and whatnot, whether it's starting off with just 30 seconds before we start class. Everybody just sit down, close your eyes, and just be quiet. Everybody play some lo-fi music, some jazz music, and just vibe. Even through the class period, while they're working on their schoolwork. I'm not a fan of institutionalized schools, but it's part of the system OEM. So yeah, but while they doing schoolwork, throwing some lo-fi or some jazz music while they doing their work, they're subconsciously tapping into a meditative state, because the music it resonates on a certain frequency, 432, 528, these different type of frequencies that allows their internal self to ease into that resonance and to align with that resonance. So now they become into a meditative state without even knowing, and that's how you start implementing these practices in your subconscious and whatnot. Listen to jazz, like I said, listen to lo-fi, listen to music that's not so boom 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 boom, you feel me? Because it gets you real, just all over the place, discombobulated and whatnot. I want to find that zenfulness, find that peace, and find that flow state of where you can allow your thoughts to flow, or even if you don't want to let your thoughts flow. Sometimes people say, here's the thing, people say, oh, you shouldn't be thinking about anything when you meditate. Sometimes I don't think about anything, but sometimes I do think when I meditate. So like I said, it alters, bro. It alters. Listen to your, just go with the flow when you meditate. Listen to your inner self. I'm telling you, you're gonna find how beneficial meditation really is when you customize it to who you are as an individual. So with that being said, I'll catch y'all next video, man. Peace.